Welcome back to Behind the Startup. I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Let's get started. I figured it would make sense today to talk about my startup, Fresumes, the history behind it, and where we're at now, just to give you all a better idea of my experience, my credentials, so you know where my advice is coming from. So, American Labor Company LLC was founded December 24th, 2020. So we're coming up on 2 years now in business, and that's the parent company that owns Fresumes. So we started American Labor Company, and it originally was a staffing firm. And the reason we went that way was because we knew that there was a real problem that could be solved. There was a supply and demand rift. Specifically, we were looking at skilled trades back then for our staffing firm solution, but across the entire labor market, there was a supply and demand rift. And we figured a staffing firm was the easiest way to get started. You can essentially hit the ground running. You can go out there, say, I'm a staffing firm, and you can start talking to users. You can talk to companies who would hire the staffing firm, and you can talk to candidates who are seeking positions. So we got going pretty quickly with that American Labor Company, and again, that's a staffing firm. And we realized pretty quickly that this was an inefficient solution to the problem. So we knew there was a problem, like candidates needed better employment, and employers needed better candidates. But the thing is, as a staffing firm, you're just kind of you're almost acting as a matching algorithm as a staffing firm. You're sending candidates to the relevant employer, or vice versa, But it seemed really inefficient that I had to stand in the middle, call the candidate, then I had to stand in the middle, call the company, and it seemed like that definitely could be done with an algorithm, so we made a software solution. Introducing ourjob.app. So we had run American Labor Company LLC, it ran its course, and we decided it's time to pivot the software, and we launched ourjob.app. And the premise for ourjob.app is that it is the universal job application. So you can apply for all relevant jobs at once. So essentially, looking at what I was doing as a staffer, as a recruiter, and I'm just pinging relevant candidates to relevant companies, doing that algorithmically. So you say, I have a plumbing candidate in Buffalo, New York. It would match you with all the relevant plumbing companies near Buffalo, New York. So every industry, every job, apply for all relevant jobs at once. It was a matching algorithm, but well, that's a nifty idea, and we like that it would eliminate the need to apply to different jobs, or we like the idea in theory, but it fundamentally was flawed because it had a chicken and egg problem and could never add value to the first user. So we launched ourjob.app with a group of TikTok influencers, and the idea was if we could make one person find a job, like one company hire one candidate, it worked, right? If we could have one overlap, one match, it worked, right? We were gonna have companies only pay when they hired, and that would take the candidate off the site, incentivizing the company to get the candidate's information private to them. So pay when you hire, it was a pricing model no one did, and it was apply for all relevant jobs at once. That was something we never saw either, but it had a chicken and egg problem, so it was broken. The very first user the very first candidate it didn't have a matching employer for, and the very first employer it didn't have a matching candidate for, you know? And ultimately, we never made any matches, even though we launched with social media influencers. Yeah, we didn't end up matching it. We had a chicken and egg problem that was too big to overcome for us at that time. And we had lots of fun. We learned lots from that experience. And that allowed us to come up with our next idea, what we're currently building, getting ready to release, which is Fresumes, free resumes. So Fresumes is the only free resume database. There will be no chicken and egg problem because the first user will be a recruiter or a hiring manager, someone who's going to be looking to hire a candidate, and it's going to be auto-populated with resumes. So how can you do that? How can you have a free resume database? Good question. So resumes are scattered across the internet. People upload them all the time to places that you can access publicly on the internet for free. And we are scraping that. We're aggregating all resumes across all different platforms, putting it in one area, and we're calling it Fresumes, and we're giving it to you for free. So the very first user will be someone looking to hire someone. They'll be able to search plumber in Buffalo, New York. They'll get all the relevant resumes coming back to them, and then they can contact. From there, we can add features like resume uploads, so you can upload your own resume rather than having them come entirely from the internet. But yeah, we banged our head against the wall with our job.app, trying to come up with an answer to the chicken and egg problem. And while this still technically adds value to the employer and it adds value to the candidate and it's solving the same problem, it's a different solution. And with that solution, there's no chicken and egg problem. So we actually avoided it entirely. We scrapped our job.app and with the Fresumes to solve that. So let's do a quick review here. So in 2020, we launched American Labor Company. In December of 2020, Christmas Eve, we launched American Labor Company. That's a skilled labor staffing firm calling candidates, calling employers, try to make matches. We realized a few months into that we are doing something that can be done algorithmically, and we switched to a software product, and that is our job.app. Apply for all relevant jobs at once. It fails due to a chicken and egg problem. And that leads to the pivot, which is where we are now, Fresumes, free resumes. So Fresumes is a free resume database. You can search unlimited resumes for free. We're able to do this because we're aggregating resumes from the internet, putting them all on our platform, delivering it to you for free and with love. So yeah, we love y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Behind the Startup. Like and subscribe. Share this with anyone who you think it could benefit. Yeah, good luck out there. I'm rooting for you. I love you. See you soon.